Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast. If you're new to the After the Show podcast, this is where we hang out a little bit longer, visit with you.
Tell our stories a little in deeper detail.
And your stories, too.
So I'm going to start by saying you can haggle in retail, and I saw it. I witnessed it firsthand with our friends, with my friend Audra this weekend. And I'm going to get to, she did it in front of me, and I couldn't believe it.
Huh.
I never thought of haggling in a retail situation.
No.
I mean, I never really would. I'm not one to haggle anyway. Murphy, you know that. If it says it costs something, that's what I assume it costs.
Yeah, a lot of people don't.
Even if it's at, a consignment or an estate sale, I don't want to haggle.
Yeah, and so this shopping experience that you're talking about, this again was
our couples.
It was a
weekend.
local owner. It was part of the couples weekend that we did. It was a local owner, so it wasn't like she was walking into Macy's.
Oh yeah,
right, and trying to negotiate.
Yeah, don't try that. Don't try that. Okay,
yeah.
First I will get to what she did. I will tell you exactly what she did and how it worked. But I'm so happy. My heart is so happy that she and I finally went shopping together. We already talked about how special it is to have a good couple hang. We are two couples that can hang out together, and we like each other, and it's fun, and it's easy. I look forward to seeing them. We don't live near them, so it's a special occasion when we get to see them. It's not an every weekend thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a couple of times a year that we get to see them and hang with them. And so she and I have never shopped together. We hit it off right off the bat the first time we met. But we've never shopped together, and that's a sign of a female friendship thing.
I didn't realize that you hadn't, but I guess it makes sense. That's right.
We've always been on the lake or at restaurants or games, football games.
Right.
With the husbands.
Right.
Yes. She and I have never. Now, what's so funny is that when we split off for the day, Audra and I hit all these shops. I assumed it would just be a girls thing, and she's like, no, Mark's going to pop in. He's going to want to see what we're doing. I'm like, okay. Murphy would do that too, so that's fine. And sure enough, in the second store we were in, I was in the dressing room, not dressed, and I hear you guys' voices. And she's like, they're here. But anyway, I am so happy to report that she and I are shopping buddies. Like, we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain women who don't shop together so well. Now, if you're friends, and it doesn't matter, but there are I have certain friends that the kind of stuff I'm interested in looking at and spending a lot of time on, they'd be like, yeah, I'll meet you at the next store. And that's fine. But Audra and I told her, look, this is what I want to do. In the morning while we were drinking our coffee, before we went anywhere, I said, here's what I want to do. I want to hit only the consignment stores first. And she was like, yeah, bargain. Just want to see, because you never know what's there.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a Coach bag, could be something stupid that you never even knew you wanted, and you want to see the price of it. It's not like you're trying to get a big grab. But so she was totally down for that. So we spent more than half the day just doing that, just doing resale and consignment.
Right.
It was so cool. And that was just exciting for me. She taught me some of her tricks too. Like, you got to look at this, and do you know this brand? And I showed her a couple of brands. Like, look for this, because this normally is like a $200 bag. If you see it for $20, you might want to consider it.
I'm just curious, for Murphy and Mark, what did y'all do to shop? Were you just hitting your stores?
They were
walking.
They were. Yeah, I was really more walking and seeing. There were really more. There were so many clothing stores, in this little shopping area.
It's more of a girl place.
It is. Yeah. That's what it kind of wound up being. They've got a few little antique shops. Those are cool.
I know
They've
you
got
guys
a vinyl shop. That's cool.
You guys went driving for a little while, just riding and talking, and then they ended up having ice cream.
There is an ice cream shop.
There's a good ice cream shop. So anyway, she and I hit a couple of consignment stores. It was fun. It's like she and I just shop well together. We don't have the same styles, but I've learned what's hers. I'm like, do you see this? Because this looks like you. And so she's learning me, and it was just so much fun to do that. And then we went into this really nice retail store that I really like to see. They have everything. They have shoes. They have home decor. They have earrings. And it was just crammed full of stuff and beautiful. And the owner was there. And here's the haggle. One other thing before I get to her haggle. Another place that I love used bookstores. And I thought that would be possibly She loved it.
Oh.
I went in. She stayed with me the whole time. She bought more books than I did.
Oh, so you actually went into that used bookstore? Which,
Of course I did.
I'm a little claustrophobic in that place because it is
To the ceiling.
jam-packed.
Yeah.
Thin aisles and to the ceiling books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, I want to spend a good amount of time in there. In my fiction section, I scan everything. That was a perfect hang. There was never a point where she and I were off. We vibed the whole time. She's my spirit animal shopper.
Not everybody matches up and
No.
lines up on
No,
shopping.
I know. That's why
And,
it's a celebratory female thing right now.
Because
for
if
me.
it's just you and I going,
Yeah.
I will hang out with you for a while and pop in and out of the shops that you're in.
20% of the time you hang with me.
And then I'll just go either sit in a coffee shop or a bookstore, that kind of anything that I
Yeah.
don't mind just kind of browsing and
Yeah.
doing. But yeah, the clothing thing, I don't know. If I'm just not in the headspace and I'm not in the mood for a shirt or something,
Well, most of the
I'm gonna
stores
go
that
do
we
something
hit were
else.
female only.
Mhm.
All you're doing is looking at my stuff going, oh, okay.
Holding
that-
bags for
right.
you.
Well, no, I don't ask Murphy to hold bags.
Wow.
Anyway, so to the retail, to her haggling, which I couldn't believe she did it. And I was like, wow, you go. So we went into this full retail. It was not a consignment place. And I bought 2 pairs of shoes. One of them, was full price. The other was definitely on markdown discount. And we're looking around, having a good time, talking to the owners, dancing to the music, having a really good time. And she and I find this little section near the counter where it's, 50% off shoes because it's the last pair, and that's a thing.
Clearance.
Yeah, it's they only have 2 more of these or 1 more pair of these. And so they're 50% off. She had already grabbed a pair of boots that she was buying.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those were also discounted. She's a bargain shopper. I think those were 50% off. And then she grabbed another pair of shoes and she put them on, and they were like a half size too small for her. But I agreed. I was saying, if you give that a little time, that will stretch and you can. And it was a really good deal and a really good shoe.
At those prices, you're buying that shoe.
No, it's not my decision. But she was asking me. That's another thing. Real honesty.
That's not a risky proposition, buying something a half size too small, hoping that it stretches.
No, because she and I trust. You know her. She's thorough. She's like, this will stretch.
Okay.
And she was her heel was only hanging off wasn't really hanging off. It was past. I would have told her, you're going to waste your money because you're not going to wear those. I would have told her, don't buy those. But the owner saw that we were having that conversation where she's like, I don't know, I really need this size. I need a half size up. And he walked over and he goes, you're going to let those go? You're not going to get those? That's a good price. And she goes, well, is this a firm price? And I'm thinking, whoa, Audra, this is retail. Whoa. She said, is that a firm price? And he goes, are you going to buy the boots? And she goes, I will buy the boots if you can give me a discount on these. And he goes, done, 75% off those.
Oh, hey.
Good, yeah.
I know.
So what did you
She's
do?
a genius. I stood there gaping.
Can I get these for free?
I'm sorry, too late.
I did not. I'm not a haggler.
Yeah.
I don't have the confidence to do that.
Yeah, well, I think haggling is a matter of if it's done politely, and you do have to be talking to somebody who can actually make that decision.
Right, he's
'Cause
the
it's
owner.
It's not going to be a department store situation that
Right.
you're going to get lucky probably in that case.
Right. It was his last pair of those two. He needed to move them.
But see, that's smart. If it were the latest trend and it's brand new and they've just got the inventory and they've got 7 pair or whatever, it's probably not a great time to ask that question. Oh, of course, I guess it never hurts to ask.
No. Now these shoes that new ones I'm wearing today, full price, no haggle, but I love them. Anyway, I just loved it. I wanted to celebrate the fact that, when you have a female friend that you can shop with, it's a nice little bonus. She's already a great friend and I love her and I adore her, but I didn't know how that was going to go either. And it could not have been written better. I could not believe it. So there's your haggle trick. You can haggle in retail.
If it's a
Audra
local
style.
owner, probably, yeah.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.